right? Fat activism is like, doctors don't kill fat people, right? Academic people, like scientists who are 30 years into the field and should know better.
Before we get into the video, let's thank one of our commenters for scarring us with counting every like. If these commenters could have strung an intelligent sentence without constantly saying the word like, used out of context, then I would have listened further, as I agree with your opinions.
And the only like other Black kids on our street, like we were like playing with them. And one of the boys was like, well, you're fat. And I was like 9. And I just remember being like, I'm fat? Like, you know, and it's just so crazy that I can't remember like what my child.
747 in 70-minute video. 10 per minute. Every 6 seconds.
Like enjoying your food, like literally when you are in a good mood, your body absorbs more nutrition. They have research on this. It's like nuts.
Then this means only burgers and chocolate?
There's research that shows that weight discrimination, in fact, shortens life expectancy, like controlling for common psychological and physical risk factors.
Not the weight itself, but discrimination shortens life expectancy? But how is this study arranged? Are all people obese and the results based on their statements?
It's almost like a smokescreen or a red herring, or I think of it as like a catch-all or a dog whistle word. It kind of, I mean, it encapsulates a lot, you know, like it. So for example, that person who said that to you, he might be talking about your body. Right. He might just be using a word that he knows is going to end the conversation immediately. That word also, like when it comes to gender, right? It's a word that says you're not even really a girl.
Yeah.
How does fat mean not a girl?
So, right, like what remains, so 70% of our overall health is actually those factors, like largely determined by national policy. And then the remaining 30%, most of that is genetics.
Why are you in my comments blaming the individual when it is so clearly the fault of our government? Why are you in?
It's like, again, long term, what happens is that the weight is not successfully repressed. Dieting is not correlated with weight loss long term. It is correlated with depression, anxiety, decreased cognition, decreased energy, and a 25% increased likelihood of developing an eating disorder. So like there is nothing, like when we think about any of the outcomes that people are looking for when they're dieting, the research does not bear out that any of those outcomes occur. In general, what we're seeing with people who quote unquote successfully maintain weight suppression, they have eating disorders.
Right.
So give up and die? And how is this what you have not an ED?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, like, totally yes. And I think, like, I want to get back to your question and say, like, you know, in reality, what we know, okay, you know what? I have to share a couple more data points. And it is like, in general, when a patient, again, we know from research, when a patient is advised to lose weight, the likeliest outcome is an immediate binge. This leads to the immediate, like kind of like the action reaction. You go into a doctor and you're told to diet or lose weight. The likeliest thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a binge after that appointment. So it's like, it's really important to understand that restriction literally leads to binging. Like these are opposite sides of the same coin. People think that like binging is like some kind of crazy, weird, wild, horrible behavior. It only happens among dieters. Like only dieters binge.
Then what is the solution?
It's a completely natural biological thing. Like your body basically kind of overrides your brain and is like, we're in survival mode. I do not care. You need to get as much food in you as possible. It might be painful. It might be shameful, but like, we're just in here trying to save your life.
And what happens if you do not put the food in your mouth?